The dark arts are known widely among the villains of pop culture, but none do it with quite the same spiteful conviction as these two sorcerers of darkness. King Boo, the malevolent majesty of booze, Magica De Spell, the sorceress of the shadows. I am No Name, and I'm here to analyze their powers, techniques, and experience to figure out who wins. Ghosts come in all shapes, sizes, and motivations. Some are friendly, some are malevolent, and some are pure chaos. But on one fateful day, the Mario Bros. Would find about one ghost who's the most vile of them all. After Luigi got himself a letter claiming he won a mansion in a contest that he never had participated in, rather than called to see if the contest was legitimate, Luigi and Mario decided to meet up at the mansion, but little did everyone's favorite turtle thwarters know that they have fallen into the trap of an evil specter. They've dealt with ghosts before, but this isn't an ordinary Boo. This was King Boo. This royal majesty may have been a mere henchman to Bowser at first, but his command over the Boos led him to be a far more independent faction. And King Boo tricked Luigi into his haunted mansion with all sorts of ghosts. There's the Boos, of course, perfect for stealing my goddamn items in Mario Kart and stars in Mario Party! But they're here nonetheless. They're hardly the only threats Luigi faced in this mansion. There are angry pitbull ghosts, fortune teller ghosts, gluttonous ghosts, pianist ghosts, and even child ghosts. There are more specialized ghosts like Boolossus, which spawns additional boos. Nikki, Lindsay, and Genny are all magician ghosts capable of pulling bombs from their hats. And Helen Gravely, she uses mirrors to reflect light, which is a weakness for ghosts. All this isn't to say King Boo doesn't enjoy scrapping with green plumbers himself. That crown he wears isn't just for show, it's the source of his power. Without it, he's basically a normal Boo. But it's so powerful that while normally the Mario Bros. Can interact with ghosts just fine, Luigi needs a specialized poltergeist, courtesy of Professor Egon, in order to take King Boo out. Not that the poltergeist would make it easy. King Boo can shoot lightning, whack you with his oversized tongue, manipulate objects with telekinesis, grow in size, shoot fireballs, warp reality, duplicate, cast illusion, and most infamously use paintings to trap you. Specifically, King Boo managed to catch Mario off guard to trap him. And in another timeline, it managed to trap Luigi in it too. And I'm sure he was immensely satisfied in that timeline because King Boo hates Luigi. After he was thwarted and Luigi renovated his mansion, King Boo had a deep bitterness towards Luigi. Unlike Mario and Bowser, who are obviously at odds with each other, and friends is a strong term to describe them, at least they aren't always at each other's throats. King Boo just wants Luigi to die. No sugarcoating it. He makes Starlo seem like Luigi's #1 fan. Speaking of best dad, King Boo in his first outing, after he quit his gambling addiction, puppeteered Bowser's corpse to attempt to kill Luigi. Of course he failed, and rather ironically was trapped in a painting thanks to Egon's special tech. Man, what a nice old man helping Luigi out. Surely he will never do anything and he sold King Boo's painting at a garage sale. And he broke out. And he took over the mansion. And he's starting the eclipse, like the one from Berserk, but more PG friendly version. I don't even have anything funny to say. Luigi, I feel so bad for you. Especially since King Boo's power was growing so much to the point he could create entire spatial dimensions and had the power to distort and destroy them. While Mario characters do have better scaling, King Boo relies more on tricks than anything, but similar to a certain other character who mainly uses tricks and illusions. He could still be comparable enough to Mario in terms of speed, and that guy can cross galaxies in seconds, and with the Dark Moon's power, King Boo was looking to take out that pesky plumber once and for all. especially since his power can grow even further with his Boo underlings. Yet, despite this, Boo would still lose again and again. Boo would lose to that pesky plumber, and it had gotten to the point of obsession. Before, at least, Boo had schemes of grander propositions like taking over the world or resurrecting Bowser. Now, he just wanted to make Luigi into a painting. And he failed. Luigi was and always will be a terrified coward, but he still persevered no matter the terrifying forces sent his way. Luigi always had the courage to prove that he deserved to rub shoulder to shoulder with his big bro Mario. He even renovated Boo's hotel for a more friendly ghost to haunt. How utterly disgusting! Screw all this heartwarming feels! Why doesn't that green plumber just shrivel up and die already? So all hail the majesty of Boo's, King Boo, the most ghastly and dastardly foe the Mario Bros. Would ever know. Saying life is a hurricane at Duckburg is an understatement. Anything goes down there other than race cars, lasers, and airplanes. You got a group of robbers, crazy rival businessmen, occult phenomena, or even time travel. It's also home to the wealthiest duck in all the land, Scrooge McDuck, with an approximated net worth of 19.3 trillion. You expect him to be some lazy bum that exploits workers, but no, Scrooge will do anything to get money, and it all started with his first ever dime. He earned it as a shoe shiner, but little did he know this would put him in the crosshairs of the most dangerous sorceress in all the lands, Magica De Spell. Inspired by Italian actresses Sophia Loren and Lollobrigida, Magica had two goals in life: defeat Scrooge and steal his #1 dime, which she believes will give her immense power by melting it into an amulet. She and her brother Poe De Spell did battle against Scrooge, and after Poe sacrificed himself to save Magica from a ricochet blast, and despite her begging, Scrooge would let Poe stay a non-sapient raven for the rest of his life. This led Magica to despise Scrooge for the rest of her days. And as a sorcerer, Magica is naturally adept at, well, magic. I mean, it's in her name. It'd be disappointing if she wasn't able to do magic. She's got what you would expect. Energy balls here, a bit of lightning there, a pillar of lost souls if she's feeling frisky, force field shits in case, you know, the standards. Though she's often considered the weakest sorcerer due to her obsession with stealing that dime from Scrooge, she can still levitate, teleport, use telekinesis, she can enter and exit paintings as she wishes, manipulate gravity, create thunderstorms, and saw blades, and even transmutate objects, people, or even sometimes herself into birds or bears. She's also quite the summoner, capable of summoning skeleton and pumpkin minions, or for bigger threats, the ice demon of... Okay? No name, you got this. You know how to pronounce it. You literally heard the guy pronounce it, okay? You got this. For bigger threats, she can summon the ice demon of Refrigimadordia. While Magica knows many spells, she's more of a witch than a sorceress. So naturally, she has herself a broomstick that allows her to fly around, a wand or a scepter to use as a medium for her magic. She can still cast magic without them, but it seems likely it heavily boosts her power output. And her power output is an understatement. She's powerful enough to create massive storms, and has proven to be more than a match for Scrooge, who can survive massive explosions with little issue, and even match the power of Hercules, who's strong enough to move planets. She should also be comparable to Donald and Goofy. Donald the Virgin may have struggled to lift up 2 stars, but Goofy the Chad could do this. The energy required to do that would be equivalent to nearly 800 supernovae. Though Magica is way more about tricks and pure power output. She is a dazzling witch that existed since the 60s after all, with a crystal orb to spy on Scrooge. She can even use it to cast spells from afar to take that comet-dodging duck down. She's also developed various potions, such as one that allows her to control sea life, and another that does the same but to birds. Her arsenal and army is vast. She has the Source Absorber to absorb magic to add to her gestalt. She's also in possession of the Magic Candle, which allows her to straight up travel through time. And on top of her normal magic being able to interact with spirits, she can use the Ghost Banishing Amulet to banish ghosts away. I hope for her sake she packed it. Another thing she's in possession is the Bing, You're Hypnotized one. You'll never guess what it does. On top of being able to expand her army, there's Dracula Duck, who can summon bats, teleport, and grow in size. But the duck she has the most interesting relationship has got to be with her niece, Lena. When Scrooge sealed magic away, she needed a minion in order to come back. In this case, Lena. While Scrooge saw his family as more valuable than gold, Magica tortured and abused Lena so she could escape. After all, there's nothing more terrifying to a child than disobeying an authority figure. And when she outlived her usefulness, Magica simply absorbed her shadow to be used in a shadow war. After stealing Scrooge's lucky dime, she finally unlocked its power to seal everyone's shadow in a massive whirlwind. This actually was far from her first time, but she never could quite figure out a way to achieve the dime's power. One time she took Scrooge's nephews away from it and broke his spirit to the point he didn't even care anymore. But his will wouldn't be broken this time. Magica's power during a lunar eclipse is immense, putting her far beyond Donald, who turns out isn't a virgin because he traveled to the center of the cosmos in just 5 hours. God, these tunes are crazy. Makes you wonder just how busted the Toon Force can really get. Anyway, back to the Shadow War. Just before Magica could get her revenge on Scrooge, Lena was able to restrain Magica by taking her body back, but sacrificing herself to defeat Magica. But knowing that spiteful witch, she'll return darker than ever. However, even with Magica's immense power and spells, Scrooge, no matter the odds she stacked on him, constantly persevered not just to protect his wealth, but his family and their drive to turn the worst of messes into successes. Something Magica, despite her many battles with Scrooge and his gang, never seemed to grasp. But no matter how many victories the McDuck clan gained over her, Magica, through stubbornness and her own spiteful drive, will always hatch up a new scheme, and whenever she'll defeat Scrooge permanently with that drive, only time will tell.
Yes! The magic! The body! I'm back! Hello, Scroogey. I've missed you.
This episode of Ayano's Arena is sponsored by me! Hello everyone, I'm Dartsura, the person responsible for this episode and voice actress for No Name. You may know me as the voice of the devil in our most popular episode, or Suzu and Locke from our least popular episode. I commissioned Ayano to do this matchup, and you can too. For a pretty hefty asking price, you can get any episode you want. Very few restrictions, but depending on the matchup, Ayano may charge you more or less. But generally it's a range of $350 to $400, which we can also guarantee at least some bits of art for your matchup. Spots aren't unlimited, but commissions for Season 2 are still open. Only restriction is no real people or super controversial matchups. You're also allowed to provide whatever extra stuff you want for the episode. I helped a lot when writing and even made a whole research doc for Magica you can check in the description. In exchange, I got a discount. Just don't expect to pay for verdicts. We have some integrity here. every dollar we make goes right back into the show to make it bigger and more grander episodes. We already have a custom track and animated episode on the way, so join our Discord and DM Ayano for your own matchup to be included as part of our show. Thank you all for watching, and let's kill someone's comfort character. See you in the conclusion!
Step right up, get your parlays in, because it is time to figure out who would win.
That old man McDuck is nowhere in sight. Soon that dime shall be mine. Although, I can't help but wonder where he's gone off to.
Ooh! Look what the wolf dragged in for us. I was looking for the final part of tonight's turducken. Boom!
These pathetic poltergeists are no match for the awesome might of Magica De Spell! You pests would normally be a minor nuisance to deal with. Luckily, I came prepared. Now let's run down the list.
Yeah, dude, your dirty magic ain't enough for these muscles.
Too much of a show-off.
Keep it down, youngin'. I'm practicing.
Ugh, too old. Piano is so last century. A tasteful outfit. Wonderful demeanor. Unorthodox, yes, bold hairstyle. Finally, one of these ghosts I can relate to.
And that outfit looks atrocious on you.
Yoink!
Why, you little...
Guys, she's staring at me. I'm scared. Hey, Jerry, don't worry. I know your confidence issues and... Jerry! No, Jerry. He was the love of my life!
Dracula, be a dear while I deal with these ghastly pests.
Understood, Magica. Now, bring it on, you old hag.
Shut up!
In hindsight, I should have seen that coming.
With that out of the way, it appears her minions don't pose much of a threat, but her items seem to. She mentioned something about a dime when she got here. Go tell the Majesty to keep it to himself. In hindsight, I should have retreated when I had the...
Guess I'll see you soon, Jerry.
Darn it! With that gone, I only have a few spells that harm those ghouls. Should not be a problem, but I wish I packed my potions.
If it isn't my old nemesis, baby Luigi! Oh. Sorry. My bad. I was, expecting someone else.
You aren't going to attempt to take me out? Even after I banished several of your lackeys?
Meh. Go figures Helen Gravely would be useless enough to get herself banished. Anyway, I have a limited number of paintings, so bye.
Bye, I guess. But before you go, you wouldn't have happened to see a dime anywhere, would you?
You mean this dime?
Why, you?
I may not care for most ghouls, but my boo brethren are a different story. It was Jerry's birthday, you witch!
That was disgusting. disgusting.
I'll show you disgusting, mediocre mage.
As if the mighty Magica De Spell could be contained by a mere painting. Cowering already?
Not at all, pathetic pagan. After all, it's showtime!
I'm ending this farce now. That dime is mine.
Hey, hands off the crown! I can show you a real murder!
The crown, eh? The crystal ball showed me the truth. You're nothing but petty. I have someone I need to avenge, and ultimately, that's something you'll never understand, King Boo.
Don't you dare.
Bing! You're hypnotized. Now give all your power to me. Why is there so little? I swear he was more powerful, unless... Fool! I escaped this situation before. I can escape again.
Oh, you spell-casting simpleton. There is no escape. There never was.
No! No! Stop laughing! Stop mocking me!
Wait, what do you mean the one doesn't actually hypnotize you? It's literally called the Bing You're Hypnotized wand! This matchup seemed like it was in Magica's favor at first glance, but once you look into things a bit deeper, it's pretty clear cut that Boo held the advantage. So what's his and their stats, powers, underlings, and resistances? First up, stats. Magica can create city-spanning storms and should be stronger than the sun-shattering Goofy. Not bad at all, but Mario characters are consistently way higher. To be fair, it's questionable if King Boo should scale to Mario at all in terms of power, especially since he's pretty cheap when it comes to fights, but speed should be more than reasonable. Magica should scale to Donald, who can cross the cosmos in just a few hours, which would be 162 trillion times faster than light. But compare that to Mario, who can make a similar trip in a few seconds. That'd be around 489 quadrillion times faster than light, so much faster than Magica that she is unlikely to get any of her tricks out first. Even if she did, her own power didn't pose a problem to Boo. Goofy shattering a star may have been worth around 800 supernovae, but King Boo can destroy the universe. That's around 11 billion Yoda-Foe. And one Yoda-Foe is the equivalent of 1 septillion supernovae. Now I'm partly lying to you all because this is an overtime feat, so it wouldn't be exactly much higher than Magica, but even with that in mind, it's pretty clear cut that King Boo takes the edge in stats. But powers weren't so straightforward. Both Boo and Magica could grow in size, cast lightning, summon minions, etc. But Magica had a notable versatility advantage, though that was largely irrelevant against Boo's immense power and durability. But Magica didn't have no powers that wouldn't work. She could absorb King Boo's power, seal him away, travel through time, hypnotize Boo, or even transmutate King Boo's crown, which is the source of his power. King Boo may have a few powers Magica doesn't, but we believe with her immense versatility advantage that she narrowly takes the edge in powers. Next up, let's talk about their underlings. This one's gonna be short. King Boo had more major players, a more loyal army, had more ways of replenishing lost fighters, and they were a lot more versatile than Magica's army. Seriously! She can summon like 4 at a time at most while there's hundreds of Boos. Easy, simple, straightforward dub for King Boo. Lastly, and most importantly, is their resistances. Both Boo or Magica are like cockroaches. You can't really get rid of them easily, so a question arises. Could these two permanently put the other down? And the answer on both sides is yes. Magica could trap King Boo and had spells that can interact with ghosts, but there are layers to this. The Mario cast can interact with potential beings, yet needed specialized equipment in order to interact with Boo. But Boo had a very obvious weak point, and without his crown, he's just a regular Boo. And at point, he likely would be vulnerable to Magica's ghost-affecting magic. However, King Boo had several ways of preventing this. Illusions, teleportation, and just hiding behind his minions are of course options, but King Boo had ways of dealing with Magica. For starters, Magica was shockingly able to counter being shoved into a painting. She could easily break out, and we know that's a method of escaping King Boo's portrait, a solid counter to King Boo's main method of attack. But that's where Magica's advantages end. Despite being a cartoon character from the 60s and being from a series known for its slapstick, Magica at no point has shown ridiculous regeneration. She's tanked plenty of impressive stuff, but nothing that would suggest she could recover from. So there's no reason to believe King Boo wouldn't just blow Magica away. Even if he couldn't, King Boo can create pocket dimensions, and these are different from his portraits. Magica needed outside help and non-standard equipment in order to escape a pocket dimension. And just to add a bit more salt in the wound, most of Magica's win conditions were tied to external items. And what are Boos known for doing? Stealing external items! Even ones absorbed in someone's person like Power Stars. So, no matter how you slice it, King Boo would come out on top more often than not. Magica was a terrifying threat, but even with Pacific counters to Ghost, the King's overwhelming might, trickster abilities, and reliable win cons had him triumph in the end. By that time, Magica would find the source of her problems. King Boo would make her chances nickeled and dimed. The winner is King Boo.